What a joke of a running mate. Of course, another white male in the Republican Party. What else is new? We knew Ramaswamy had zero chance. We knew Tim Scott had zero chance. This guy, wow, what a dolt. Just Dumb Vance is his name. What a joke. No experience. He doesn't care about workers. He may be a great writer to his credit, but he moved to San Francisco. He's a venture capitalist. He works for the bankers. He works for the hedge funds. These are the only people this guy cares about. This is why he is a part of the Republican Party. He will not care at all for the workers of America. He is a huge hypocrite. He has no ideals to stand on. Because the real J.D. Vance actually knows what's right and what's wrong. This guy only seeks opportunity to gain political power. This is why you see a big 180 degrees flip over from being a huge, staunch anti-Trumper to a Trump bootlicker. He once liked tweets he's saying that Trump committed serial sexual assault. He raped a woman in the stall of a department room changing room. Donald Trump hung out with Jerry Epstein. Donald Trump raped young girls. Donald Trump is a rapist. Trump is cultural heroin, says J.D. Vance. My God, what an idiot. Past comment to Donald Trump from J.D. Vance. He apologizes now. He's, to play the game, you got to reverse what you said in the past. Even though he's a complete and utter fraud, we shouldn't listen to any word he has to say because he has compromised his values. If he had any. He called Donald Trump a moral disaster. He is unfit for our nation's highest office, says Mr. J.D. Vance. Yours truly. Thank you, Rachel. This was a brilliant masterpiece. He once called him Hitler. Vance wondered whether Trump was America's Hitler. I go back and forth between thinking Trump is a cynical asshole like Nixon or that he's America's Hitler. How's that for discouraging? America's Hitler. Great one, J.D. Vance. Great one. Because Donald Trump almost overthrew democracy. He was willing to overthrow this democratic constitutional republic. He was dead on about Donald Trump being Hitler. In the rhetoric with the Mexicans is very similar to the rhetoric that Adolf Hitler spoke about in regards to the Jews. When Donald Trump said that these pesky brown people jumping the border are the reason why you're having all these problems. He not only is a grave danger to whatever democracy we have left in America, he is also a danger to the planet. Republican Party want to destroy the planet right now as far as their position goes to promoting a healthier environment. He has doubted human-caused climate change. These ridiculous, ugly windmills. And then, as far as the elections, he's only going to accept the results only if it goes Donald Trump's way. He has asserted that those charged with trying to overthrow our democracy are political prisoners. Oh, what? Because they tried to stall the certification of the electoral votes, that they're political prisoners? Republican Vice President Mike Pence certified the elections because there was no rigging in the election. It was the most secure election in history. People voted for Biden through the mail. The mail votes take longer to count than the in-person votes. Therefore, Joe Biden won. Because Donald Trump gave all the tax breaks to the billionaires, he gutted health care for millions of people, he downplayed the pandemic, He stoked division. He divided America instead of uniting the United States of America during a crisis. This is Donald Trump's problem. This is why he lost the last election. He didn't send in the ventilators. He delayed and downplayed the pandemic and outright called it a Democrat hoax. And Joe Biden is correct, because J.D. Vance now is not a running mate for the Republican Party. He is a loyalist to Donald Trump. He said he would not have certified the election. He would have overthrown our democracy. We won't have any country left when we have coups every 4 years. We've never had these kind of coups until Donald John Trump, a black mark on the history of this country. He called Donald Trump Hitler. He's correct. The Supreme Court has overturned Roe versus Wade. And this is the guy who you want to try to court women votes. He backs national standard for abortions. He says people in violent marriages shouldn't get divorced because for the children. Your wife beater needs to stay for the children, says J.D. Vance. Come on, Eric's going to have a field day, that cougar, with J.D. Vance in the debate. He argues against the need for rape and incest exceptions in abortion laws. J.D. Vance is a complete and utter total fraud. He is a joke. He will not work for the people. He will work for all of his cronies that he met over at Silicon Valley in San Francisco. He only works for the rich, the hedge funds, and big tech. Yale Law School, he is an elitist. Yours truly. J.D. Vance is just another puppet. He will serve the donors in the Republican Party and the billionaires from day one. Ohio State University under 13. The amount of time from the start of the convention yesterday to the day of the election on November the 5th. 112 days, 113 days included, 112. So you see the reversed, Ohio State is 112. Zionists is 112. Republican Party are big time cocksuckers. They suck Israel at every turn, even though Israel's committing genocide against the Palestinian people. You know, Donald Trump, established an embassy in Jerusalem. He stoked divisions there when he did so during his presidency. He is a huge threat to World War III. Donald Trump could not get a loan from a bank, and Donald Trump instead had laundered money come over from Russia. The Russian Empire, the Russian oligarchs. The Russian oligarchs kept Donald Trump's business empire afloat. Donald Trump is serving the geopolitical interests of Vladimir Putin when he says that he wanted to dismantle NATO, that these other countries should start paying more money. The United States should not start paying money into NATO. Vladimir Putin wants to weaken NATO so he can take over the rest of the former territories that used to be part of the old USSR. This is the real reason why he opposes aid to Ukraine. Because Donald Trump is in fact a puppet to Vladimir Putin, and Donald Trump, his end game is to destroy NATO so Vladimir Putin will attack the rest of Europe and take over these old Slavic territories that used to be part of the old USSR. He is both a treasonous, disastrous disgrace, and he is a war criminal. This is treason right here. to aid and abide the enemy. The entire Republican Party is treason. Donald Trump said he will establish a dictatorship if he gets elected. Donald Trump is desperate at every turn to be shielded by presidential immunity. Can't prosecute Trump. There's a presidential immunity. He's the president. See, Donald Trump is facing bankruptcy. Russian oligarchs saved Trump from bankruptcy. All of his campaign people in 2016, many of them were foreign agents. Under Russia, under other countries like Michael Flynn. This guy's 39 years of age. Donald Trump wants a yes man. He wants a young guy, much younger than him, that he can walk and run circles around and tell him, do this, do this. He has sold his soul for political power, is what happened at the end of the day for Mr. James David Vance. He is a sellout. The Democrats are going to absolutely go on the attack on this guy's background. He is a loyalist and a stooge who has sold out to gain power. This is all he wants is power. Why else do you go to Silicon Valley? Why he doesn't care about working people. He's a fraud. He's for big business. He's for corporate interests. He's another Republican charlatan. This is who he is. And his stances on abortion and women's reproductive rights, this is what's going to cost the Republican Party the election. They are hardcore terrorists against women's rights and against the environment, against what's happening around the world with man-made climate change. But you see, the Republican Party's not going to change until 2028. Joe Biden has this election in the bag. This guy's a joke. Donald Trump is a bigger joke. I hire the best people! I hire the best people! What a joke. What a joke. Man, this guy's going to get slaughtered by Kamala Harris on the debate. Kamala Harris can be ruthless against his stances against abortion and women's reproductive rights, against his stances on the climate, especially calling Trump Hitler. Most people in America are decent. Most people in America do not want coups like January the 6th. America's had enough of Donald Trump. This guy's cooked. Worst president ever. Among the worst of presidents in the history of this country. Joe Biden passed bipartisan infrastructure that never came under Donald Trump. He has passed far more tax credits and rebates than Donald Trump, because Donald Trump only gave tax breaks to the wealthy. Biden expanded Obamacare. Donald Trump gutted it. Republicans did nothing to fight the climate. Joe Biden got back into the Paris Climate Accord. Joe Biden passed the Green New Deal, creating tons of jobs. The CHIPS Act, bringing back semiconductor jobs to America. Joe Biden has done far more than any Republican president before him during the course of his life. Joe Biden is re-elected president of these United States.